No! No! No!
Hi there, thanks for joining me for another episode of Mr. Ed Makes, and I'm going to be doing a fairy house color changing Nightlight. These are turned out to be pretty popular. I sell these at a gift boutique a few blocks away from my house. That and some other art, but these are the ones that sell the most because they have a relatively good price point. They're more affordable. Some of my larger Nightlights are pretty expensive, and they take a while to move. People have to think about it. If they go in and see that, it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to save up for that. So it's kind of one of those things. But these sell pretty much right away, and I try to make I can't I'm not a factory so I can't just make these all the time. There's lots of other art that I do, so I would love to produce more of these for the boutique, but they really are limited in what I'm able to produce. So if you're a local from Southern Oregon, stop by Mish's boutique in the Ashland Mall down here and check those out. Jump on one while you can, because they really are limited. They're pretty expensive. I think they're selling somewhere around the $50 range and that for a nightlight, I mean, come on, you can pick up a nightlight for like $1 and it's okay. But these are just fantastic, and you can see from the thumbnail and from the pictures at the end of the video just really how cool they are. I mean, I think they are, and obviously other people do, because I had somebody bought like 2 of them, I think. So if you have one of these, congratulations. You're really lucky, because I don't make a lot of them, and you're going to see why. They take a tremendous amount of time. In fact, for what somebody purchases these for is the amount of time that it takes me to make it. And of course, I don't get all of that money. I share that with the proprietor, because she's kind enough to offer her space and sell these, so I want to make sure that she gets some of it too. So I pretty much take a hit on every one of these, but they bring so much joy to people that that is worth it to me. So, and I enjoy making them every once in a while. It's not something that I want to do every day, all day long, and you can see why. It's pretty tedious framing it out. You got to put this tissue paper on there and glue it, and tear that tissue paper off, and then that has to be, and you have to be delicate the entire time. You can't be a brute about it. It's just a really delicate thing, and you can't rush it. It takes its time. I've tried to speed these up, and I just can't get the quality the same. They take as much time as they take, and I have to sell them for that much. I wish I could make them cheaper, but that's not what the craft is about. The craft is about creating something, and it takes what it takes. So I try to stick to that. So if you buy my art, know that it is priced really, really fairly. And I'm about to put a wall art in Mish's. It's pretty expensive. You might have to save up for a while, but it is so gorgeous. I wish I could hang on to it. I'm going to try to make another one. And there's some pictures of that posted, I think, on my Instagram and Facebook. If you want to check that out, there's a video that shows you in detail what it looks like. That's going to be available at Mish's. So anybody who wanted that on Facebook, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be able to ship it out to you. Maybe you can call the boutique and Mish will ship it out to you, but that's the only way you're going to be able to get your hands on it. I'm going to make some more, so don't worry. I really like making them. They're a lot of fun, very meditative, and I hope to do a video showing you in detail how to make one. So if you like them, you can make one yourself. So back to this video after all that business. So the first step is done. Got the paper down, you got the different colors on, and when the LED changes colors, things stand out in different ways. And speaking of standing out, if you want to notice my videos and you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified. In that way, it helps my videos stand out in all the noise, and you're sure to come back and check out what's new. So the next stage of the project is putting on the door and the windows and all the little applique, the whatnots, I don't even know what you call them, the botanicals, yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. You can get them like bags of potpourri that has a different seed pods and what have you in them. Grab your favorite color and smell and pull out the different pieces, and you can use those for awnings, for like little porch covers. You could even use them to shingle a larger model if you wanted to have something really big. But for here, they work great for the awnings and to cover the door with like a little porchway. When I first started making these, I would just put one of them on. But I noticed that if I group a few of them together, the different layers, it creates a really interesting effect. And in this one, it's kind of creepy. And if you keep watching the video, maybe you'll notice where it's creepy. I'll point it out if it doesn't creep you out immediately. But here, putting in the windows, there's lots of different ways that you can do this. You can cut a hole and then glue the sticks on around the square that you've cut, or you can put the sticks on, glue those, and then cut out the paper in the middle. I kind of like the last way, the way that I've showed you here. It seems to work a little bit faster, and the cuts are cleaner because you don't have the risk of running through the paper. It is tissue paper, and sometimes it doesn't want to cut. It's strange how really thin paper is resistant to a razor. It's really, really bizarre, but it happens. Anyway, you can see I jumped to the next stage because for some reason my camera didn't want to pick up the footage in between, so I'm sorry you missed that. I wasn't going to scrap the whole video because I missed a section of it. So there is a video link up here. I think I put up a card that will take you to another video that shows you that stage in a different model that I did. But I did want to show you how I did the roof. I was using, when I first started this, I used pine cone petals. That process is a pain. It's a huge pain. The effect is awesome and it's worth it. But for these little models, it wasn't economical. So I decided I would use cardstock. Cardstock was too hard to work with, even though the effect was pretty awesome. But I knew when I put the glue over it, it was going to stiffen whatever paper I put on there. So I went to construction paper, which is so much easier to work with, and it went on a lot easier, and the glue stiffened it enough to where it was almost like cardstock. Probably couldn't tell the difference really, except for the cardstock I was using had a linen texture, which I kind of liked, and this doesn't, but that's okay. It's a very small change. I don't think anyone would notice unless they were really looking for it, and it helps speed up the process considerably. So that lowered the price of this, or actually helped me capture more of my labor in the price that I set it at. So I was really happy with doing it that way. So if you do this, I would definitely recommend using construction paper. It's really easy to work with. So you just shingle the roof like you would a house. You start at the bottom, you work your way up, you put your little eave cap on top of there, and ideally water could just run down. And if you're thinking about this thing being an actual little home where it's at, that water's going to run down and it's going to get captured in the little nooks and crannies of the awnings, and that's going to encourage things to grow, capture and grow. So when I'm putting on the moss, I'm thinking about that, and I'm putting it where the water might collect, so it makes some sense. Did you notice how creepy that is? It looks like lips. It looks like a face, like a crazy. But I like it. In the photograph it turned out that way, and I kept the photograph because it was just weird how it kind of looks like a face. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this project. Give it a try if you're daring. It's fairly advanced, but I think there's enough detail in this video where you can get the grasp of what's going on. And when you do put this in your washroom or wherever, they're just awesome. Everyone who has one just tells me how much they love it. Check out Mish's boutique in Ashland, Oregon, and as always, until next time, you guys, take care.